Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. And depending upon where you are, hopefully there's sunshine, because here in sunny Georgia, there is liquid sunshine that's happening this morning. We actually have a lot of rain that's scheduled all day long. And so as I always say, the golfer may be sad, but the farmer is happy. And as Priscilla said, and so are my plants. So we want to make sure put those plants out there so they can get that good, fresh rain this morning. But we're so happy that you're joining us for our third season of Mornings with GWBC. And we hope you have your favorite cup of coffee or tea or smoothie and are going to sit back and relax and enjoy the next 30 minutes with us as we introduce our special guests. We also have our top 10 countdown, as well as you always know, that raffle of that Macy's gift card. So again, the other thing we're going to talk about too is what's getting ready to happen in about 2 weeks, which is the WeBank National Conference that's going to take place here in Atlanta, Georgia. So we're very excited about being able to see people in person. So it's going to be a very exciting time for us. We hope you've registered already, but we'll give you more information in just a few minutes. And we also hope that you had a wonderful weekend, that you enjoyed it, got some relaxation as well. We ask that you also follow us on Facebook, on our social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. We're also on Instagram, so please follow us on that. We'd love to know how you're doing. And now let's introduce our special guest today. It is Wells Fargo, and representing Wells Fargo is Priscilla Wallace, who is the head of Supply Diversity and Supply Chain Management Sustainability. And more importantly, she leads a team of supply chain professionals, and some of them are on today, and builds relationships within the communities that Wells Fargo serves. And that's through development, inclusion, and utilization of diverse and small businesses. And as part of the Wells Fargo commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, her team maintains and fosters the integration of diverse supplier options into procurement strategies. Now, this effort currently has resulted in over 1 billion, with a B, right? Billion annual spend with certified diverse suppliers. That deserves a hand clap in the chat. I mean, that's fantastic. So congratulations, Wells Fargo, on the $1 billion. And then her team also is responsible for integrating and aligning the corporate ESG sustainability strategies, inclusive of data review, analysis, and reporting, as well as ensure organizational oversight, which minimizes risk for Wells Fargo overall supply chain. And that's key and important for all of our suppliers to keep that in mind. And Priscilla brings more than 2 decades of supply chain and diversity, equity, and inclusion experience. And she was previously Vice President of Supply Diversity at Food Buy Compass Group, the largest food service management company in North America. And she's president of the Corporate Development and Executive Director at Charlotte Minority Economic Development Initiative. She has spent 13 years in supply chain and diversity leadership roles and at the American Red Cross, as well as at the American Red Cross. And so she's received numerous accolades during her career. And most recently, she was recognized in 2020 and 2018 as one of the top 25 diversity women empowered by Diversity Plus Inc. And in 2019, an all-star of supplier diversity by MBN magazine. And on the top 50 Omni Awards for multicultural businesses in 2018 and 2019. And she is a graduate of Delta State University. So let's welcome Priscilla. Hi, how are you doing this morning?
I am doing wonderful, Roz, and it's so good to be here with you today and the Greater Women Business Council and all the lovely women of that council. So thank you so much for inviting me to come and join you today.
Well, let's go ahead and get right to these questions because I know that's something that our women businesses are waiting on. So, of course, 2 years have gone by with this pandemic, and of course we have these spikes, but I have a feeling that Miss Corona is here to stay. She's going to visit every once in a while. So how has the pandemic really affected the way Wells Fargo engages with its suppliers?
That's a good question, and it's one that we hear quite often. And one of the things that, well, first, I do want to go back and say this right here. Wells Fargo really appreciate being able to collaborate with GWBC. We've had a long-standing relationship with GWBC.
Yes.
And we plan to continue that relationship because we think that you women are just the greatest. I mean, you rock. So we're excited for the great things that are to come. And also we're excited for your leadership, Roz.
Well,
so now I'll
get
to answering your question. So if you think about the pandemic and everything that people went through and, no one had time to plan. No one had a prepackaged idea already ready to launch, but one of the things that I'm very proud of, the supplier diversity team, is that we accomplished a lot during the COVID-19 pandemic. And it really impacted the way Wells Fargo engaged with suppliers because we had to navigate different. We had to really, really go into our toolbox and see how we can continue to reach diverse women, disabled, veteran, LGBTQ+, and all minority suppliers a different way. And some of the ways that we did that is while the economy was going through a downturn, we helped our diverse businesses pivot, retool, and innovate their business. And we did that through our capacity building programs. And one of those capacity building programs focuses on educating, mentoring, developing, and sponsoring women and diverse businesses how to do business a different way. We also align with our internal executives, our operating committee, different lines of businesses within Wells Fargo to help us with the educational component for these women. And I'll say that we probably engaged about 817 diverse suppliers during 2021 through the hybrid model, mainly through the virtual component. And we were able to do more, reach more. And what better way to reach people than the comfort of their homes through technology. So, and that was the highest number of suppliers that we've ever educated and sponsored and trained in 1 year. We invested almost close to $1 million during COVID-19, during the pandemic, to make sure that we stayed engaged, to make sure that we were reaching more, to make sure that we supported our diverse suppliers.
Well, one thing I am aware of, and as well as GWBC, is how Wells Fargo has walked the talk. And you're absolutely right. We also were fortunate enough to be one of those organizations to experience Wells Fargo engagement with retooling, reforming, rediscovering people's businesses, the 3 R's that we did there. And then also through Hope USA was another big initiative that Wells Fargo partnered with GWBC on, in beautifying small businesses. And so that in itself was a testament to you all's commitment to be engaged, to stay the course through Thrive and with WeBank. I mean, when you think about all the things that you all have done, it has been fantastic. So as head of supply diversity, so what are your priorities, around this initiative?
Wow. So I would say that my priorities around this initiative, number one, there's always room, there's always time to do more. And some of the things, there's 3 key areas of focus for our supplier diversity program here at Wells Fargo. And I do want to say we have the support of our leadership, We have the support of the board chair of WeBank, which is Barb Kabicki, because she is our chief procurement officer. And so we're going to do more, and three things that we're going to focus on. Number one is driving business inclusion. And we're going to grow our spend with women and diverse suppliers. And what we're doing, we're collaborating with our line of businesses across the enterprise to identify those opportunities, to identify spend where we were potentially could be using a non-diverse supplier that we could be using a diverse supplier for. We're going to look at ways that we can add or increase the engagement of diverse suppliers in all outgoing RP opportunities as applicable. So driving business inclusion, making sure people are aware that we have a pipeline of strong women, diverse suppliers, minority suppliers is the key. It's making sure that we keep these suppliers in front of our lines of businesses. Secondly, our capacity building programs that I mentioned to you about, we'll continue to offer different programs to educate diverse suppliers on. And when I say diverse supplier, that includes everyone. That's women, minority, et cetera. I just keep it the term diverse supplier. That way I don't leave anybody out, because everybody matters. Everybody matters. I mean, we want to be inclusive of everyone. But just making sure that through these programs, I mean, we give out about 24 scholarships a year to Tuck Executive Education Program. We collaborate with WeBank through a program titled We Ignite to help give women that executive education. We sponsor about 225 women a year. We have programs for veterans. I mean, we have just a whole suite of different opportunities, because we want to make sure that when it comes to launching your business, whether you're at the beginning stages, you're right in the middle of it, or even if you're advanced, we're even building a program around succession planning, because sometimes companies get so large, they really don't know how to pivot. And what happens is the infrastructure is much bigger than the actual owner. And so we want to help you with that, which is why these capacity building programs are so important. And our third area of focus is outreach. As Roz mentioned, in 2 weeks, we're going to be looking at each other face to face in person. Some of us going to have masks on, some of us going to have a shield on, and some of us is going to have a big old huge smile on our face, because we're not used to being in that environment. But being in that environment, making those connections, collaborating, building those intentional relationships, is key. And so we are looking forward to outreach. In fact, Roz, we have probably committed to probably about 60 plus events just for 2022. That's how important it is for Wells Fargo to be out there engaging, learning who's doing what, and making sure that we're doing everything possible to integrate more suppliers within supply chain.
Wow. Well, think about it. It's 20 years right now, of experience in supply diversity arena. And I think we already kind of have an inkling of what excites you, but what else does it excite you about working with our diverse suppliers? Because again, Wells Fargo is doing a great job.
Awesome. Thanks for asking that. Well, everything we do at Wells Fargo starts with our mission. We want to satisfy our customers' financial needs. And one of the ways we truly believe that focusing on diversity, equity, and inclusion is key to being one of the world's great companies. It's an imperative for us. What excites me is what excites Wells Fargo. It's that innovation. It's that creativity. It's that uniqueness of what our diverse suppliers brings to the table. It's helping diverse suppliers launch their business ideas and bring it to fruition, seeing it make a change in their communities, creating that, what I call it, generational wealth, and helping others meet the needs of others. One of the things that I'm very passionate about is, as we grow our diverse suppliers and increase the awareness of and opportunities to be a part of contracts, it's just giving back. Help someone else get there. I mean, let's keep this thing going. Let's grow more and more communities of color. And so that's for 20 years, that's been my legacy. How can I give back? How can I create opportunities for others? How can I make a difference and be a subject matter expert of how to integrate diverse suppliers within supply chain? Things are always shifting, things are always changing, but just knowing that you move the supplier from, let me give you a tangible example. We had this one little supplier, and this supplier was a Monique. She was, her and her husband, Kevin, CBK Branding, owns a photography company.
Yeah.
Just so happened my daughter was doing a pitch session there for her little leadership group, and she's 13 years old. You got to start them young. And, you know, and just listening to their story and talking about how they want to grow their photography business, how they want to grow their entrepreneurship nonprofit program, serving youth, teaching them how to groom, eventually turned into an opportunity where we're in the process of contracting CBK, but we sent her to Tuck University. When she came back, her website had a whole new look. She has tons of opportunities left and right. And just being able to connect the dots, helping her explore and offer her the chance to go to Tuck University made a difference. That's what excites me, because she's going to take that education, give it back to tomorrow's youth, and continue to allow that legacy to grow for what they're doing at their company.
Wow. Wow. That, you know, and those are the stories that are so important to share, because there's always someone saying, well, you know, can I do this? Or what is it going to take for me, you know, to make this leap, right? And beyond the leap of faith, right? Of being able to grow their business. And now we talk about the C word. And I know Tina is on this show, you know, in the audience with us. And we talked about the C word of having confidence to be able to ask for help, for one thing, always ask for help. And then once you get that, have the confidence to move on those initiatives that are so key and important. So what's the next big thing for Wells Fargo? So what's happening with you and your supply diversity team?
So I would say the next big thing for us is to really, really intentionally look for those unique gems, those unique diamonds that can help really meet Wells Fargo initiative and for our supply chain initiatives, creating opportunities, being at these conferences. We'll be there in 2 weeks. We probably be at the front and center because we want to meet you. We want to meet our suppliers. We want to be a part of the experience with you and help identify where we can fit you into our supply chain. We'll continue to work with our line of businesses. We'll be hosting showcases so that we can get suppliers in front of the different lines of businesses within Wells Fargo. And we'll continue to build programs to make sure that we're meeting the changing demands of the market, the changing needs of our women business owners to just grow with Wells Fargo as a whole.
Okay, all right. So why do you think supply certification, yes, you know, that's core to GWBC and WeBank, but, you know, for women businesses, you know, who are looking to fill, you know, supply chain gaps, why is that so important today?
That is a good question, Roz. And I'm glad that you asked that, because certification is extremely important. Certification of your company helps us to ensure the integrity of Wells Fargo supplier diversity reporting. The certification process involves completing an application, utilizing what WeBank, for example, or GWBC, to validate and vet the suppliers or who they say they are, so that we can make sure that we have good reporting. It helps it really does help you move up the line faster, because when you get that certification, that means you've done your due diligence. You've done your due diligence of who you are, your products, your services, your capabilities, and it helps us be able to better align you to those RFPs and RFXs, and it helps us share that information across supply chain. So it is important, because we have to report on our end what we are spending, how we're working, how we're promoting and growing diverse suppliers across the enterprise.
You know, I always say it has to pass the newspaper test, right? That's the reason why corporations such as Wells Fargo, invest in organizations like WeBank or NMSDC, for this certification, because the newspaper is going to say Wells Fargo. It's not going to say GWBC didn't vet this supplier, to determine if in fact that they were woman-owned or minority-owned, or a diverse supplier. So thank you so much for explaining that to our audience to understand that. And then we'll also add, you get 120, 90, 60, 30-day notice to get your certification, especially recertifying, to get those documents into us so that we can make sure you do not expire also, because believe it or not, the corporations will follow up with us on those who expire as well. So, what's your favorite quote?
Well, my favorite quote is what I believe is that along this journey, especially when you're passionate about diversity, equity, and inclusion, you're going to have to go through, you got to have the passion, you got to be persistent, you have to be patient, and you find yourself making small changes here, small changes there. But my favorite quote would be, if you make enough small changes, it will lead to a big difference. So don't get weary. Make sure that you stay positive when you're trying to grow your business, but realize everything matters. Small changes can lead to a big difference.
I'm gonna have to adopt this one. This is one I'm gonna have to take with me. And everyone knows I'm a quote person, so I love this one. So I thank you very much. You'll probably see it on my next email response. Add that to that. Well, one of the things I want to say to you, thank you so much. I know how busy you are. I know you have a lot on your plate. You also have a dynamic team that you're working with as well. So we're very excited, about that. The other thing I will share with you, we're even excited. I want the audience to know that Wells Fargo identified 5 cities to support minority and women-owned businesses. Charlotte was one of them. The city of Atlanta was the other. So stay tuned for more information about that. And I'm also going to talk about it in our top 10 countdown. So Priscilla, thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to spend time with us. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard from a great thought leader at Wells Fargo, and please give her a round of virtual applause in the chat. We really are looking forward to hearing more about what Wells Fargo will be doing. And up next is our top 10 countdown. And we're gonna get through those really fast, so pay attention. But you keep in mind, we'll always be able to get a copy of this presentation and this show as well. Thanks. Okay, and now for our top 10 countdown. Number 10 is copyright material. And I know you're probably wondering why, but that's so important, especially when you're doing presentations. So please make sure that your material is copyright when you're responding to your RFPs or RFIs, things of that nature, because you want to know also how to seek permission on that. Number 9 is EY Entrepreneurial Winning Women. This is another organization and company that supports women businesses too. So look for information on that. The number 8 is Merge Lane Accelerator Program. This is another opportunity for growth for women businesses. Plum Alley Investments is number 7. And so this is another opportunity for you to think about. Female Founders Fund is number 6. Keep that one in mind as well. Women's Startup Lab is number 5. Always think about, you all are founders of your business, so you want to learn and get as much support as possible regarding that. Number 4 is WIP, Women Impacting Public Policy. I encourage you to join this organization. This is the organization that was very instrumental in the WOSB certification in working with our Congress in order to get that approved. So please look at the value that WIP provides. And number 3 is Wells Fargo Open for Business grants through the Foundation of the Carolinas in Charlotte, North Carolina. And then it's United Way Invest Atlanta in Atlanta, Georgia. So the applications are going to be opening soon for both of those, but I would encourage you to go online now and get as much information about it as possible. Again, this is Wells Fargo walking the talk. Number 2, GWBC Radio, open for business. So I'm going to say this is the last year that we will be providing complimentary opportunities to our WBEs to showcase your business for 20 minutes on our radio show. Yeah, we will be charging in 2023. So keep that in mind. I would take advantage of this opportunity. They're averaging about 9,000 downloads each of the shows. So keep in mind, it is about your I am statements, and about who you are regarding your business. And then number 1, what we've been talking about this morning is, of course, the WeBank National Conference. It's back in person, going to be held in Atlanta, Georgia, June 7th through the 9th at the Georgia World Congress Center. I would encourage you to definitely register now. Online registration closes May 30th. And if you can't do the full registration, look at those day passes as well to see which one is valuable for you. Keep in mind, this is going to be a whole new experience for everyone. And as a result of that, you want to look at orientation days, which we're going to announce in just a minute what those orientation days are. And this week is the last week for orientation for new attendees, as well as WBEs and corporates. So we hope you're going to be able to incorporate at least 3 of the top 10 countdown in your schedule this week or your operations. And so now it's almost the end of our 30 minutes and it's time for our raffle. So let's see who the lucky winner is. Priscilla picked a number earlier and it is Tracy West of Irresistible Pound Cakes.
Hey,
oh my goodness, congratulations, Tracy. So happy for you. So here now you can add that to whatever that nice outfit you wear at the conference. So think about it from that perspective too. So we want to thank you again for all of the support that you all provide. More importantly, thank Wells Fargo for all of their support. Please give them another round of applause in the chat. We're very excited about what they're doing. And we look forward to our next Mornings with GWBC, and we will be featuring Ally on June 13th and AT&T on June 27th. And again, we have about the WeBank conference, making sure that you really are paying attention to the fact that we have less than 2 weeks before 3,000 people will be descending on Atlanta, Georgia for a major excitement and experience. And for those of you who have registered for the conference, remember that this is the last week, for you to participate in the pre-conference Know Before You Go orientation. And these are the dates here. So we encourage you to sign up, make sure you take advantage of it. This is going to be a very new experience. Then even if you've gone in the past, we encourage you to sign up for one of these orientation sessions. And now keep in mind that WeBank and GWBC both are marketing a lot of information about this. We also have a webpage on our site at gwbc.org that's going to give you not only information about the conference, but also who the supporters are, the corporate co-chairs, as well as the WBE host committee that are representing GWBC. So we encourage you to continue to follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. And more importantly, tweet out about what's happening. Tweet out this show. Tweet out as well about, and Instagram. We encourage you to do that one too, about the conference and getting more people and more women businesses engaged in our organization. Well, until next time, we want to encourage you to have a wonderful and successful week. Please stay healthy, be safe, and most importantly, be strong. Goodbye.